Hey everybody, this is Jim. Today I am going to be embellishing this 3D printed piece. If you remember the last video, I did this one, and I love how this one turned out. It's got just the right amount of color, in my opinion, but mostly the gray. And this piece, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. This is I've already painted this with that hammered metal. This is the color of an unpainted piece, just so you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to tell the difference, but I've got 3 of these cargo containers that I 3D printed. I'm gonna go ahead and hit those up with some color. But today what I'm gonna do is look at making this a little more realistic. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, with sci-fi terrain, I don't mind painting sci-fi terrain, as hand painting it or whatever, but sometimes little mistakes, they kind of drive me a little crazy. I like sci-fi terrain that looks clean and polished. Everything's 90 degrees, and so that's why in this one I used a lot of actual material from my junk drawer to make it look a little more realistic. And that's what I want to do with this piece. The first thing that occurs to me on this is I may want to do some masking and give it a two-tone look. So I think I'll do that first, and then I'll tackle the details. Now, the one thing that stands out is these steps here. They have holes in them for I don't know what you would call that, industrial look. And I use this stuff called the granny grading, and I think this screams for little strips of granny grading, because it'll have that mesh look to it. So I've got to just figure out the color there. And then, of course, all around there are rivets. Now, on this one, I hit them with a gold dot, or brass, I think it was brass dot of paint. And it's just subtle enough that your eye picks it out, but it's not over the top. And there's a lot of them on this, a lot. I don't know if I'll hit every rivet with it, but I'll hit the bigger ones. Like, there's tiny ones and then there's bigger ones. I may hit the bigger ones just because I think they'll stand out better. The top up here has a gridded thing in it that I may hit that with black and then go over it dry brush so that it looks like there's empty space below. And then, of course, you have this pipe part here, which I'm trying to figure out. There's a lot of things you could do here, a lot. So let me mask this up first. Let me figure out what I want to mask, what I don't want to mask, and then I'm going to hit it with two-tone, and then we'll go with the detail work. I'll be right back.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
I'm really pleased with how the two-tone turned out. There's a piece of tape left on there. It's very subtle. There's a dark gray and then a silver. But now what I'm going to do is start adding some color and some detail. Now, this is an industrial piece, so I was hoping, I didn't want this bright of red, but for the steps, I'm thinking red might be good because it would wake you up. If you're going up near this dangerous piece of machinery, it might work. Now, the question is, will it fit properly? So I'm going to cut a test piece, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so if I cut that off, it's got these little knob pieces, which you got to get really close to the solid piece to cut them. That's too much. All right, so it would have to be a 3 tall. Yeah, that'll look good. And then let me cut these off and see how wide. Right there. So it will be a 3 wide, or 3 tall by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 by 9. And these will just be glued down on there like so. So I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 of them in all. All right, let's get started. Now, I apologize. I'm going to have to put on a breathing mask because I'm very allergic to super glue. All right, I do apologize because the part where I taped up this where it's black, something happened with the video, I'm not sure. I was using my phone and it got distorted. So what I did was I used tape and I taped around the silver here and I just hit these parts with some black. It needed something, just one little extra bit. This was just too much silver. So there you go. You'll notice the blue pieces here just add a little bit of different color to it. I thought about painting down in this grid, and I may do that. Getting in there with a paintbrush is going to be kind of difficult. I'm going to see if I can find a fine black tip like a Sharpie or something that's permanent and see if I can get down in these grids. But there you go. I loved how this turned out. It's got some, it's not heavy, but it's got some heft to it. A lot of the terrain that I've crafted in the past out of like foam, you have to put some weight in it or it just gets knocked too easy. This thing has got some weight and it's not going anywhere. And it just looks very industrial, very sci-fi. And I hope you like it. I will put a link to where you can find this piece in the video description below. And I'll be back very soon with another piece of terrain. I really enjoy taking sci-fi terrain and enhancing it a little bit with some color and detail work. So I hope you like these videos. If you don't, let me know. I mean, I don't have to do any more, but I'm hoping some of you will find them of interest and maybe it will give you some ideas and inspiration. All right, that's all I got. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Patrons, thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.